Hello everybody, it's Anne from Anne's Stampin' Up. Welcome to another card making afternoon. It's raining outside and we live right on the highway, so you might hear the traffic going past and splashing around because it's raining quite hard right now. So welcome everybody. I am an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator here in Simcoe, Ontario. If you live in Canada and you don't have your own demonstrator, you can shop with me. You can reach me at stampsandtea@gmail.com, or my demonstrator website is stampsandtea.stampinup.net. So as you all know, it's celebration time at Stampin' Up, and you can get some great free items if you spend a total of $60 Canadian from any of the current catalogues. That's the annual catalogue, the new mini catalogue. You can get beautiful items. There's also a clearance rack which also counts towards your $60 if you spend it. Great items that you can get. We've used the stamp set I'm going to use today is called the Adorable Owls, and that was a free stamp set from Celebration. Another one that is really cute is the Thanks a Bunch carrot stamp set. I think that's so cute. We're going to use one stamp out of this set today, and we're going to use the owl stamp set again. We're also going to use this large, it's a whole card front size stamp set. Let me just show you. It's huge. It's about almost 5 by 7, I would say. It's like sun, you know, it comes out in rays. This is like a $25 stamp that I've had forever. It's still current in the annual catalogue. $25 stamp. I never knew what to do with it. I keep looking at it and thinking, oh, I could do this, and then I don't like that idea. So we're going to play with it today and make a fairly simple card. I mean, it's not going to be hard by any means, but we're going to see what we can do. We'll make a Valentine's card. This is the card I made this morning. This was my sample. Used the owl from the Adorable Owls set and the Hoot Hoot Hoot. And the There's No One Quite Like You really worked well, and that was from the carrot set. So we're going to copy that card now, but in different colours, slightly different colours. So I put this stamp because it's so large. It's often easier to put your card onto your stamp after you've inked it when the stamp is so large like this, because you know you can hardly get your hand around a block that would fit that stamp. The block would stick out at the side, and I couldn't get my hand around it, so I put it on my stamp, on one of the plates from my Stamparatus. There's another idea. If you bought the Stamparatus and this stamp, you would spend over $60 and you could get the free owl stamp set. It all works together. It's like magic. So what I have is, I have a basic white card, 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. I've got a piece of shimmery white cardstock. It just has a little bit of shine to it, little silvery flecks. It's two-sided. It works really well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ink the stamp and then put this, hopefully carefully, over the top like that, press it down, and I should get a good impression on my card. Now I left this piece to 5.5 by 4 1/4, which is a full card front size, but I just left it that size so that I can trim it down a little bit when I'm finished, and I make sure I've got colour all the way to the edges just in case I miss. If you had colour right around to the edges, you could just pop this whole thing on the front of your card, because it would fit and it would look just as nice that way without a border around, I think. So we're going to see what we can do. So we're going to get messy. I also have this. It's a brayer. It's called a brayer, and all I'm going to do with this is when I put my card down, I'm going to roll it over my card like this, just to press the card down. Now I'll pick up some colour from the outside edges because my card is not quite big enough, but the colour when I move the brayer over, will come off onto the back of the card, and I'm okay with that. You won't see it, so you'll see what I mean when I do that. So let me just see, is that nice and straight? That looks quite straight there. Whoops. Don't mess with it, Anne. It looked quite straight. Okay, so the first card I used balmy blue for, because I'm making these for my granddaughters. One loves blue, one loves pink. This one we're going to use Magenta Madness. And because my stamp is down on my block already, my Stamparator's pad is going to be my block. Okay, so I'm just going to turn my stamp pad over, press it down onto here. Make sure I've got lots of colour, because you only get one shot doing it this way. It's not like if I had the Stamparatus on the plate, I could do this 2 or 3 times if I wanted to. So here goes. I'm going to take my piece of card, I'm going to bend it just slightly, put it straight down on my inked stamp. This is my brayer, and this is what I'm going to do. Roll that back and forwards. Trying not to move the card, and that's what I meant by you will pick up a little bit of colour from the outside edges of the stamp. Whoops. Pick it up, and there you are. Okay, so we're just going to pick that up and pop it out of the way. So then I've got an extra piece of cardstock. There again, it's a card front size, 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. I'm going to stamp my owl and my sentiment on that. I can take this out of the way. We're going to use crumb cake, I think, to stamp the owl. And I'm using the owl that has the bow tie, just to make the cards both the same. See, and I'm going to stamp it. I'm going to move it in a little bit from the corner, because I'm going to cut it out with a stitched circle die there. And also, while I'm stamping, I'm going to stamp on the inside of the card, and for that I'm going to use this little saying that says there's no one quite like you, and this is from the carrot stamp set, the Thanks a Bunch set. You could do like love you, there's no one quite like you, look at you, hey there, thanks a bunch. Lovely sentiments, but that would make a nice Valentine's card too. So let me open this up again, get the stamp going the right way. There's no one quite like you. Lovely. And then I'm going to take from the owl set the Hoot 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 You're So Cute stamp. I'm going to turn this around. Wait a minute, maybe I'll cut this off so that I can get that through the cut and emboss machine. And then I'm going to use this piece, and I'm going to stamp Hoot 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 2 or 3 times, because I'm going to cut it apart. 1, 2, 3, 4. There, that gives me lots. Let's take these dies here. These dies are old dies. They're called Stitched Shapes. Now we have lots of new dies in different shapes. These are stitched shapes, and you got stitched rectangles, ovals and squares in there. I'm going to take the second largest circle. As I say, these are old dies. I couldn't tell you how many years I've had those. We're going to bring in mini cut and emboss, and I'm going to tape this this die. I'm going to tape the circle die down onto the owl, because I don't want it to move. Tape that down there, that piece there, and that's just going to hold it in place. Because we're using the little mini cut and emboss, we only need plates 1, which is the white one. We need one number 2, then you put your cardstock down with your die on, and you need your second number 2, and you stagger them all so they look like that. So you've got steps to go over your dies, and hopefully once you get started, once you get started, they just roll right through. Yeah, they're coming. So then I can just pop him out towards the back, and that way you don't get any of the washi tape stuck onto your owl and tearing your owl. I'll just pop that back on the magnet. This goes out of the way. Right, that's over there. So we're going to colour this owl, and I'm just going to bring in my little piece of white paper, copy paper again. I know it's hard to see. Maybe if I take the copy paper out. We're going in and out of focus here a little bit. I do think it's the vibration of the trucks going past on the highway. Okay, we have some alcohol markers. We've got light smoky slate and dark smoky slate. So I'm going to colour, this is light smoky slate, and I'm going to, hold on, I need my piece of paper because yeah, that's nice. Light smoky slate. Okay, so we're going to colour in the lightest parts of the owls with light smoky slate. And what else do we have? We have a little bit of darker. We've got some dark grey. Yeah. Colour the top of his head. Leave him like that. We'll give him a pink bow tie, just because we can. Magenta Madness bow tie. And we'll give him a little bit of light balmy blue on his eyes, just to give him some colour in there. And really, you could, I could have had this all coloured ahead of time. You don't need to sit and watch me colour, but there he is. We'll give him a little bit of yellow on his beak. I don't know, do owls have yellow beaks? I'm not sure. And yellow feet. This card is for a 4-year-old, and she's going to just love it. I know it is. I know she will. Right, so that's all the colouring we're going to do. So we're going to pop that on the centre of the card, but we've got to remember to trim the front of that card down. We're going to cut these pieces out. The hoot hoots. I need to cut 3, so I need to pick the best of the 3. You see, this one, it's a little bit light at the end. You can't really see it. It's a little bit light at the end, so we're not going to use that one, but we'll cut out, yeah, we'll go this way. So I've got 3 hoot hoot hoots, and then I've got a You're So Cute, which I'm going to use as well. So try and straighten that up a little bit. There, that's all scraps. We've got a hoot 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 and You're So Cute. We need to just set this to one side and bring in the paper cutter for a minute. And I want to cut this down. I want to trim this to 5 1/4 by 4 inches. So I'm going to look at where I've missed, my stamping is not great there and my stamping is not great there. So I'm going to take a little bit off top and bottom. So I'm going to go to, I want it to end up at 5 1/4, so I'm going to take about 1/8 of an inch. 5 1/4, yeah, I want it to end up at 5 1/4, so I'm going to take about 1/8 of an inch off the top. So I'm going to cut this at 5 3/8, turn it around and line it up at 5 1/4. Where are we? There. And trim the bottom off. So you see that cut off the parts that didn't look great when they were stamped, and then I'm going to 4 1/4. Now there again I need to have a look. Do I want to put my owl? My owl's going to sit over the circle here, so I think I want to take my 1/4 inch off here. So I'm going to, well, let's do the same again. Let's take 1/8 of an inch off each side, and that gets rid of all the rough edges all the way around. 5 1/4 by 4. There. So you see now I've got nice colour going all the way around all 4 edges of my cardstock. Hang that up, and we're back to putting this together. And we'll bring in some dimensionals and some mini dimensionals. Do I have some minis? There's some minis. Okay, so this piece here, let's make sure we've got it going the right way up. This is going to go on here like this. So I'm going to glue this down flat so that I don't have too much bulk on my card, and I'm just using Stamp and Seal. There it goes. Line it up again. Card opens that way. We are about 1/8 of an inch all the way around. We've got an owl, and we're going to pop him up on some larger dimensionals. There he is. He's just going to sit right there like that. He's cute, he's very cute. And then we've got Hoot Hoot Hoot. Let's see, what have we got here? Mini dimensionals. Are they coming? And really you only need one dimensional on the back of each piece because they're quite small pieces. You could put 2, but you might honestly struggle to get them on. Hoot, 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 and you're so cute. Now this one I'm going to put 2 on because I can get them spread out just that little bit. There. So there we have 2 lovely cards. Hoot Hoot Hoot, you're so cute. Different colorways. 2 nice cards for kids for Valentine's Day. There's the one in the Magenta Madness, and there's the other one in Balmy Blue. They both look great. Thanks for watching, everybody. As always, if you sell your cards, please put the Stampin' Up! Angel stamp on, which just says all the supplies are Stampin' Up! Supplies. And feel free to copy these cards if you'd like to. I'll talk to you all soon. Thanks for watching. Bye, everybody.